Today's daily debate question for the MMA Junkie radio show. Who had the toughest road to become a two-division UFC champion? Conor McGregor, and I'll freshen up the names here. He went through Jose Aldo to get the featherweight belt and Eddie Alvarez to get the lightweight belt. Daniel Cormier, he was the light heavyweight champion on two different occasions, and then he knocked out Stipe Miocic. Amanda Nunes, she beat Miesha Tate, and then she beat Chris Cyborg. And then Henry Cejudo, he beat Demetrius Johnson and Marlon Moraes. I mean, they're all great choices. And I'm glad that there's not one that's far out and above the others. They're going to range anywhere between 19 to 31%. So this one's going to be a fun one. And a lot of votes came in, so thank you to Junkie Nation, the readers of the site and the listeners of the show for voting. Dan, Tom, why don't you lead off?
You know, there's few fighters I respect more than the Jose Aldos or Eddie Alvarez's of the world, but I feel like Conor McGregor for me has got to be canceled out of this conversation because he had a promotional push more than the others and maybe more than anybody. So for that reason alone, toughest road, I gotta step off the train there. Same with DC. I love DC, but I feel that even though people hold the John Jones name in front of him unfairly at times, if we're splitting hairs, I feel that's right here, so I guess that leaves Cejudo and Nunes for me. I'll actually go with Amanda Nunes because I don't feel they were promoting her. I feel like they were under-promoting her, if anything. You can argue that maybe there were other A-sides in some Cejudo matchups, but I feel like Amanda Nunes has been consistently treated like a B-side, and hopefully not anymore because she just beat the greatest ever. You know, MMA, men or females, we don't really have too many legacies that stretch out for a decade. Chris Cyborg's did. She also beat the Ronda Rouseys of the world. Yeah, give me Amanda Nunes. I think she had the toughest road.
How about you guys?
This is actually very easy for me. I think he's right. It's Amanda Nunes. If you do the Mount Rushmore of female MMA, it's the girls that she went through, plus her, and she's on top of it. Done.
All right, well, we can't focus on Rousey, though. We have to focus on Tate and Cyborg. It's the road to get to the two-division championship. I mean, they're on the Mount Rushmore. I see your point.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah,
but
it's part
all
of the
right.
journey.
I still feel good with that.
All right, I'm gonna go with Daniel Cormier. Vacant or not, he still had to fight Anthony Johnson for the vacant title.
Well,
He's a beast. And then Stipe Miocic is arguably the greatest UFC heavyweight champion ever, based on the 3 title defenses that he had over quality opposition. I don't want to get into the whole Kane or Verdum and Fate, all that. So I don't want to get into that. I'm just saying, according to that stat, Stipe was on fire, and he knocked him out and he submitted Anthony Johnson when he won the vacant title. So it may not have been John Jones. I get that. But still, Anthony Johnson was considered a really, really tough out. This is a tough question because all these are great fighters and they had to go through great fighters. And that's why I'm glad that it's a balanced attack and it's not necessarily like, you're wrong, I'm right, or nothing like that. I don't know that there really is one. It's just fun to kind of relive and see what everything, these guys and gals had to go through. I mean, Amanda Nunes knocking out Cyborg, that was something else. Henry Cejudo beating DJ. Do you remember how Twitter blew up and how everyone acted? Because DJ was just untouchable for so long, and Henry Cejudo was able to get that done. And McGregor, say what you will about the road to get there. Eddie Alvarez is a former Bellator champ and UFC champ, and if I'm not mistaken, a Dream champ as well. I can't remember. So he knocked out a great lightweight, but the big one was Jose Aldo in 13 seconds.
I feel
that was something else, man. So they all have an incredible argument to be made on behalf of them.
I feel like Cejudo and McGregor have the most impressive scalps, but again, I don't know that Cormier, the whole Jones situation, that he never actually beat him, whether it was on fair playing grounds each time or not, kind of just sticks with me. But I will say this though, if we did it by the odds, guys, as far as who was the underdog most, and we tallied all their lines, the times they were minus 350, the times they were plus 115. I still think it ends up on Amanda Nunes and followed by Henry Cejudo as far as being counted out by the odds makers in public. Whereas Conor McGregor was favored a lot of times, maybe even when he shouldn't have been. And Cormier's always gotten respect from the odds makers as he deserves to.
I mean, I like Henry Cejudo, but the knock you're going to get on this argument is it's not like everybody had him beating DJ that night, right?
Yeah, it was a split.
And you really have to split hairs when you're playing this game.
Yes,
you have to do
true,
that.
Very true.
Okay. All right. Well, this is how Junkie Nation voted I mentioned it was 19 to 31% was the disparity there. So the 19 was on the low side. It went with Amanda Nunes. There you go, Ryan McGuire. There's you can bash those voters that elected to leave women's MMA in last place.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Conor McGregor and Henry Cejudo equally at 25%. Yeah, and Daniel Cormier came in at 31%.
Opposite how I thought it was going to go.
Almost 4,400 votes came in for that one.
I thought Cejudo was going to win it.
That was a fun one. Here's a couple